Okay, dear students, you would have watched the lesson Lines Written in Early Spring, which was shown in Victor's channel. Now, let's have a discussion regarding the lesson. Lines Written in Early Spring is a poem by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is a romantic poet, and you have studied about all that in the classes in the Victor's channel. We studied the story of the boy in Adventures in a Banyan Tree. A story is for understanding, whereas a poem is for appreciation. For appreciation, we have to know the theme, and then we have to write the meaning of the lines, and we have to find out the poetic devices in the poem. So when you are writing an appreciation, you should know the theme. ഒരു appreciation എഴുതുമ്പോൾ കവിതയുടെ ആശയം മനസ്സിലാക്കണം, തന്ന വരികളുടെ അർത്ഥം എഴുതണം, അതിലുള്ള poetic devices എന്താണ് എന്ന് എഴുതണം. So we are going to now deal with all these things which will help you to write an appreciation. An appreciation should have an introduction. അതിന് ഒരു ആമുഖം വേണം. The introductory paragraph should contain the name of the poem and the poet. ആമുഖ പാരഗ്രാഫിൽ കവിതയുടെ പേരും കവിയുടെ പേരും ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കണം. The first lines come of your appreciation. These lines are taken from the poem Lines Written in Early Spring by William Wordsworth, a romantic poet. So this is the first lines. The name of the poem and the poet will change as the poem changes. കവിത മാറുന്നതനുസരിച്ച് കവിയുടെയും കവിതയുടെയും പേര് മാറും. All other remains the same. So after the introduction, write the theme of the poem. ഈ കവിതയുടെ ആശയം എഴുതണം. So I will give you the theme of this poem. The theme. So this is a landscape poem that is largely concerned with nature. Wordsworth belonged to the romantic movement of poetry. Romantic പ്രസ്ഥാനത്തിന്റെ ഭാഗമായിരുന്നു William Wordsworth. And the romantic movement told that man should go back to nature. Romantic movement പറഞ്ഞത് മനുഷ്യൻ പ്രകൃതിയിലേക്ക് മടങ്ങിപ്പോവണം. The unnamed narrator longs underneath a tree in the wilderness and thinks about the changes the society has undergone around him. So this is the theme of the poem. So after the first lines, ആദ്യത്തെ വരികൾക്ക് ശേഷം ഈ theme കൂടി എഴുതണം. So that makes the first paragraph of the appreciation. Appreciationന്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ paragraph ആണത്. So the introduction and the theme makes the introductory paragraph. The next paragraph, write the meaning of the given lines. So let's see how to find out the meaning. So this is our first stanza of our poem, Lines Written in Early Spring. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined, in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. So this is the first stanza. So let's look into the first two lines. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined. Okay, in this quatrain, so what is a quatrain? Quatrain is a paragraph or a stanza of 4 lines. So this poem has stanzas of 4 lines. So you have quatrains there. So in this quatrain, the poet tells that he was sitting comfortably in a garden. So these 2 lines mean the poet was sitting comfortably in a garden when he heard a mixture of 1,000 musical sounds. So here the poet tells that when he was sitting in a garden, he heard a mixture of 1,000 musical sounds. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind, it brought a mood of happiness in the mind of the poet. But that good mood, instead of bringing happy moments, brought sad thoughts to his mind. So here the poet tells that he was very happy when he heard 1,000 blended notes, and he does not know what happened when that sweet mood changed into sad mood. അദ്ദേഹം ഗാർഡിലിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ കുറേ പ്രകൃതിയുടെ ശബ്ദങ്ങൾ കേട്ടു. And he became very happy. അദ്ദേഹം വളരെ സന്തോഷവാനായി. പക്ഷേ അതിൽ നിന്ന് എന്തോ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ സന്തോഷം മാറ്റി അദ്ദേഹത്തെ സങ്കടത്തിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുപോയി. So these are the meaning of the first 4 lines. So after the introduction, you have to write the meaning of these lines. After the meaning, write about the poetic devices in the poem. So the first poetic device is rhyming words. So let's find out what are rhyming words. Words ending with same sound but in different lines are called rhyming words. Okay, now let's look into this first stanza. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined, in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. So let's look at the last words of the lines. Notes. And look at the last sound of that word. It is the S sound. Now what you have to do is, you have to find out whether that S sound is repeated anywhere in that stanza. Yes, is it repeated? Yes, it's repeated in the 3rd line, right? Thoughts. So you have notes and you have thoughts. And the rhyming word here is notes, thoughts. Next one is reclined. And do you have any other word ending with the D sound in that stanza? Yes, the last line, mind, right? So you have reclined and you have mind. And the rhyming word is, now is easy for you? Yes, very good. It is reclined mind. Rhyming word കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ ഒരു വരിയിലെ അവസാനത്തെ വേർഡ് നോക്കുക, ആ വേർഡിൻ്റെ അവസാനത്തെ ശബ്ദം നോക്കുക. ആ ശബ്ദം വേറെ ഏതെങ്കിലും വരികളുടെ അവസാനത്തെ വേർഡിൻ്റെ ശബ്ദമായി വരുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ വേർഡുകൾ റൈമിംഗ് വേർഡാണ്. റിക്ലൈൻഡ് മൈൻഡ്, റിക്ലൈൻഡ് ഡ ശബ്ദമാണ്, മൈൻഡും ഡ ശബ്ദമാണ്. സോ റിക്ലൈൻഡ് ആൻഡ് മൈൻഡ് ആർ റൈമിംഗ് വേർഡ്സ്. ആൻഡ് റൈമിംഗ് വേർഡ് is taken only from a stanza. So what is a stanza? Stanza is a paragraph in a poem. Now let's come to the rhyme scheme. It is a pattern in which rhyme is ended. It is usually referred by using letters to indicate which lines rhyme. So a rhyme scheme is also based on a stanza. So what is a stanza we told earlier? Stanza is a paragraph in a poem. Okay, now let's come to the stanza again. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined. In the sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. Rhyming words also take the last words of the lines. So let's look at the last words. Notes, reclined, thoughts, and mind. So these are the last words of the line. So you have the last words over there. And now let's come to finding the rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme uses the letters of the English alphabet. So here you have notes, which is ending with S sound. So in that stanza, wherever S sound is repeated, you have A. That is the first letter of the alphabet. Then you have reclined. Is it the S sound at the end? No, it is the D sound. So you have B. The third word is thoughts. So what is the last sound? S sound. So we have given a letter for S sound. What is it? A. And you have mind, which is the D sound. And we have also given a letter for the D sound, that is B. So the rhyme scheme of this stanza is AB, AB. Okay, now let's come to the images in the poem. What are images? Images are used to give sensory experiences. We have 5 senses. Those senses are sight, what you see, the sound, what you hear, the taste, the touch, and the smell. So sight is visual image and sound is auditory image. Touch is tactile image. So these are the images which you have to do with this poem. The remaining we will do as it is. Okay. While in a grove I sat reclined. When you read this line, you get a picture in your mind, right? This is a picture of a man sitting under a tree in a garden. So when you get a picture in your mind, it is a visual image. Next one, I heard 1,000 blended notes. When you read this line, you get a sound in your mind. This is auditory image. When you get a sound in your mind, it's an auditory image. Okay, now let's come to another image. The budding twigs spread out their fans to catch the breezy air. This is also from the coming stanzas, not from this stanza. Here, when you read this line, you get a feeling of the air touching the leaf. So, when you get a feeling of touch, that's a tactile image. Next one is personification. Personification is giving human qualities to non-human things. These lines are not from the stanza which you have done, it's from the coming stanza, but in order to tell you what is personification, I am coming into this. And it's my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. Breathing is associated with human beings. ശ്വാസമെടുക്കുക എന്നത് മനുഷ്യരുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടൊരു കാര്യമാണ്. But that quality is given to flower. പക്ഷേ ഇവിടെ ആ ഒരു കഴിവ് ആർക്ക് കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്? To the flower. So it's an example of personification. So you have to find out other instances of personification from the poem and send it to me on my WhatsApp. Coming to the next one, what man has made of man? Here you find the M sound repeated in the initial position of the words. What man has made of man. So when you have the same sound repeated in the initial position of the words, it is called an alliteration. So now you have to find out other instances of visual image, auditory image, tactile image, personification, alliteration, and send it to me. And coming to the final paragraph, that is of your appreciation. So finding the visual image, auditory image, tactile image, personifications, alliterations was all told to you to write the final paragraph of the appreciation. അവസാനത്തെ പാരഗ്രാഫിൽ റൈമിംഗ് വേർഡ്സ്, റൈം സ്കീം, പേഴ്സോണിഫിക്കേഷൻ, എലിട്രേഷൻ എല്ലാം വരണം. അതെങ്ങനെയാണ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുക എന്നാണ് നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞത്. This is how we write the final paragraph. The rhyming words in the given lines are notes, thoughts, and reclined mind. The poem follows a rhyme scheme of AB, AB. This is the rhyming words and the rhyme scheme which you have written in lines. Rhyming wordകളും rhyme schemeകളും അവസാനത്തെ പാരഗ്രാഫിലേക്ക് എഴുതി കഴിഞ്ഞു. So now let's come to the images. This poem uses a lot of imagery. While in a grove I sat reclined is an instance of visual image. I heard 1,000 blended notes is an instance of auditory image. Okay, now you have your assignment. Attempt an appreciation of the second stanza of the poem. And if you have any doubts regarding this, just make a call to me or send me a personal WhatsApp. So do your assignment and send it to me. And dear children, thank you and have a nice day.